What is the difference between morals and ethics?
The word moral derives from the Latin word
Mos, which actually means custom. Ethics comes from the Greek word ethikos, which means character. So morals are customs we establish as a society, whereas ethics are something that defines the individual. Why am I even talking about this? Because sitcoms are, by and large, modern-day morality plays. Sitcom episodes are built around a protagonist reacting. Let's look at some examples. Always Sunny. We know they have no moral compass, but the event of each episode, the thing that you tune in to see, is how far that lack of sense of ethics will take them. This is expertly encaptured in the episode The Joke's on Dee, where it looks like the gang are trying to help Dee get over a rough patch in her life by being very supportive of her comedy career, but they are not.
Great, you're gonna be great. You made it, Dee, you're gonna be a star.
I made it.
I made it.
I can do this. Okay, calm down. You can do this. You did this all by yourself. You can do this. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very funny woman, Miss Sweet Dee Reynolds.
Dee Reynolds is a star.
The joke's on you!
What is going on?
We got you, Dee!
We tricked you.
We set the whole thing up!
Yeah.
None of that was real!
All of these people are actors.
I chartered a jet! We flew all over Philadelphia for 6 hours! And I'm a garbage man! He's your garbage man! You got him!
None of this is real, Dee. None of it.
Seinfeld. Jerry is an amoral character in that his ethics are not rigid. He's not reliant on how the world sees him, and he has no ethical conflict with how his actions impact the lives of others. So when he needs to get a rye bread, he sees no ethical flaw in stealing one from an old lady. In fact, the ending of the series relates to this topic. Jerry and his friends end up in prison for not helping someone who is being mugged because they do not see it as a concern of theirs. Their set of ethics tells them that they don't need to get involved in helping someone they don't know. And ending up in prison because of that is them being punished for their lack of ethics.
What you want? Come on! Come on!
Yeah, that's a shame.
Parks and Rec. Leslie is constantly tested by a broken government system and has to remain above it to achieve her goals in an ethical way. Her character is her stringent code of ethics, and the show is about her character. And my interpretation of the ending of the series is that Leslie becomes president, which will be her grand reward for her ethical approach to politics.
I've had a lot of different jobs, including 2 terms as your governor. And soon, a new unknown challenge awaits me, which, to me, even now, is thrilling, because I love the work. Not to say that public service isn't sexy.
Because it definitely is.
But that's not why we do it. We do it because we get the chance to work hard at work worth doing.
The protagonist is faced with decisions in each episode, and how they react to them shapes the character, and how the character is shapes the show. But when you look at something like Letterkenny, a show about the life of a group of people in a small farming town in Canada, whose protagonist Wayne is a good old boy, an upstanding, moral dude. His whole thing is please and thank yous. It's sticking up for the people who can't stick up for themselves. That's not what the show is about, though. It just so happens that most of the episode plots are resulting from his ethical approach to life.
So what's it gonna take to get you back on the horse there, champ? Do I go inside and spread Angie right out on the bar when she gets here? I've fucked your girl more times than you've had a hot meal. Maybe your sister wants to join us. It's Katie, right? Shit. Why don't I go over there and ask her myself?
This is all a long way of getting around to the show I really wanted to talk about on this subject, Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley was a HBO show by Mike Judge about this character Richard Hendricks, who has invented a new kind of internet. Richard is a hopeful character. He believes his new internet will help people, But he finds the people in Silicon Valley are very much against the idea of his new internet because it will be ad-free and it will make it harder to sell people's information. So the people of Silicon Valley he meets, they basically screw him over every turn, and the whole series is Pied Piper trying to keep their head above water financially while making something that is going to help people. So Richard's goal is one based on his ethics. He thinks everyone should have access to this free internet, and all the decisions he makes in the show are geared towards making that happen. Conflict resulting from these decisions is where we get our episodes from. The last season of the show leans so much into the idea of ethics that Richard's tech entrepreneur antagonist, who they have traded blows with back and forth throughout the series, now reinvents himself as a campaigner for ethical practices in technology. It's a great move because he does so completely by mistake, but then uses his stance to screw over his enemy Richard Hendricks one last time. The antagonist is so unethical, he uses fake ethics as a weapon, whereas our ethical hero continues to face trials and tribulations because he refuses to let go of his, say it with me now, his ethics. The series ends with not just the longest wait for a payoff to a joke ever, but a refocusing of the audience's attention on the central theme, when we learn that the new internet Pied Piper has created is so good that it's become self-learning. And if they were to release it to the world, though they would become billionaires, this self-learning internet would also kind of doom society. So they self-sabotage their product launch by making any phone that carries their new internet emit a sound that cannot be picked up by human ears, but will send a powerful calling signal to rats. Get it?
And you know how we were talking about rewards and repercussions for Seinfeld and Parks and Rec? Richard's reward for his sacrifice of billions of dollars for the sake of the future of mankind is he ends up the professor of ethics at an Ivy League university.
There are shows that make the point of ethics even more central, like The Good Place. Probably should have used that as my central point since they get into actual moral philosophy in that show. But that's also why I didn't. It's a sitcom about philosophy. I feel that as good as a show as The Good Place is, it's a hard sell to a casual viewer. Silicon Valley and The Good Place are both that smart kind of sitcom, the kind where there are belly laughs, but you also get the kind of jokes that get an appreciative nod. But I didn't watch The Good Place until I heard enough people say, no, you've got to watch it just for the twist at the end of season 1. The bright colours and the clean look of it aesthetically always put me off, whereas I was instantly drawn to the premise of Silicon Valley because I knew there would be some really interesting and fucked up revelations about how the tech industry works. But anyway, let's get to the conclusion here. Do all sitcoms need to ask ethical questions? No, of course not. Can sitcoms be improved by asking ethical questions? Not all the time. No. Does basing your show around an ethical question make for an interesting take on the sitcom formula? I'd say so. That's another episode of Let Me Tell You Why That's Funny. It's been about a year of this now, and the numbers have steadily increased. They're getting there. Thanks for everyone who's watching. Please like this video and the other videos and watch the other videos. Comment below if you think you have something useful to add. Subscribe so you can see when the new ones are coming out, and check out all the other videos I make on other topics too.